So the energy CER is to be completed after both renewable and non-renewable near-pod energy notes are complete. And we are using that information that we gathered in both of those activities to complete our 3 parts. Claim, what we're thinking, evidence, facts that make us think us that, and then the reasoning, our explanation of those facts. So those 3 parts are outlined here on your sheet, starting with the claim. The main sources we should use to have a safe, affordable, reliable energy source while holding the warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius are, and then you should be able to put on the line here either renewable or non-renewable based on what you've heard and learned both in those activities and our discussions in class. The evidence we worked through in class, that was where we had kind of 2 sides up, and we went through all of our assignments, renewable and non-renewable, and looked for details about that energy being safe or not safe, about cost of that energy, about how reliable or their potential, and then climate impacts. Okay? So you should have some things, we start them off and put those key words in there. Well, this question is about safety, or this question is about cost of the resources. So you should have those marked, and basically this area is just a place for you to dump everything you know, right? And there should be some numbers in here where it says numbers. That should be data, like this percent or cost, this many dollars, right? Reliability, what is the potential, how many watts or how many years, like a number. And then facts is just information, maybe not necessarily a number, but a detail about how safe that resource is or the climate impact of that resource. So this is just a spot to put all your things. And remember, on Notability, if you swipe left, you can pull up one of your resources. So like I could go to non-renewable. And maybe renewable. I can just pull it up on the side. There, renewable energy guide. So I can look at those things. Oh yeah, this question we marked was about safety. Okay, here's what I have. So then the second part, or the third part rather, the reasoning, this is where you're putting together both your thinking and the evidence. Okay, so you're taking both stuff from that part 2, right up above, and including your explanation into it. So, for example, think about if you're talking to your friend about the biggest gross box office movie of all time, right? Or the best movie of all time. Okay, you're going to say, here's my claim. Boom, this is the movie I'm saying. I'm saying this because here's my thinking and I have this evidence to back it up. So this movie's the best because these characters were great and they sold this many $1 million of toys, right? Or someone else says, well, this movie's the best because it was in the theaters. The storyline was so great, people loved it. It was in the theaters for this many weeks or whatever. So it's what your thinking is backed up with that evidence. So that those facts and data, they should be showing up down here too in your reasoning. So here you're just stating out 2 positives of the resource you chose. So this is either renewable or non-renewable, whatever you have in the first claim up there. So an advantage, a positive of using this resource is, and then you can go back right to this list. Maybe cost makes the most sense to you, that it's the best. So here's what I know about the cost, here's what I think about it, and here's the numbers of the cost to back it up. Another positive is safety. Here it is. Here's what I know about safety, and this is good because, okay? And so that's what we want to think about here, putting together your thinking plus evidence. Same thing here, you're telling one disadvantage of that same energy. So this is the same blank all the way through. Okay, so a disadvantage of this resource is, this isn't perfect. This isn't, we don't want it to be like this. Here's my thinking about it, and then here's the facts. Okay, and then the last thing here is just an overall summary statement. So 1 to 2 sentences, something like, overall, this resource is, and then you can hit whatever you thought was the best, because, right? And just wrapping it up. So imagine if you were telling someone at home, like, the number one thing about that energy resource, what would it be?